Hi, I'm Genevieve. I am an artist, photographer, filmmaker. My VSCO handle is I'm Genevieve. I've been on VSCO for, I would like to say, over 10 years. It's been one of the first photography apps that I started with, and it has been a big resource for my photography journey, from the filters to community. For me, my creator origin story started off with my mom. My mom loved cameras. I remember all of my earliest memories is her taking pictures at family events and her recording everything. And to this day, she still does it. If you go on her Facebook, I think my entire life, good and bad, is recorded there. And I love that about my mom, on how she was always so in love with life and memories and us as a family. And I wanted to take that energy, pay tribute to her love for cameras and life, and do the same thing, because as much as I pretend I hate when my mom takes my pictures or posts me on Facebook, I love how that I can, any point in my life, I could look back and see a picture of our family or how she's feeling, and she's recorded so much about herself and her love for life, and I want to do the same thing too. So my VSCO profile, I've treated it as a journal. To me, it's more of a reflective space in the world of social media. You know, we have other platforms that where people constantly have access to your daily life, but for me, VSCO, I can really focus on my art, I can focus on my photography, and also what recently it has given me is given me a lot of inspiration. I realize there's so many amazing artists out there, and I really get inspired by what people are sharing, because it has allowed a permission to be an artist within that space. I think in other platforms I'm more fragmented because I'm also sharing, personal life stuff, vacations. But when I approach VSCO, I really approach it as part of my art practice. I've had the blessing to connect with people on VSCO and also meet them in real life. I really am so grateful for that. The opportunity to show my work at the VSCO Micro Gallery. I was connected to Bryce Carrington. He's also showing at the Micro Gallery, and we've kept in touch over the years. And me and him are actually collaborating on something right now. And I think the ability to move from a digital space to an IRL friendship is amazing, because in one realm in the digital space, it seems like time doesn't exist. So I've watched a lot of VSCO creators continue to create, and I feel really an observer of their work, but also realizing how many years have gone by. I'm like, wow, they have really grown, and I think that's really special to have a type of connection with other creators, even when you're not in the same physical space or the time space, especially during the last few years in a pandemic. It's been really special to see other people just adding to their creativity. For me, the words creation and collaboration, it means to bring in new perspectives. I think to bring in those new perspectives and to use those new perspectives to work towards a vision is something that's truly magical. Because what I love about collaboration is that I'm constantly surprised about what people bring to the table. I'm constantly surprised on how people challenge me and help me grow as a creative. And with collaboration comes I think the best type of creation, because you're not doing it alone. You're doing it with people who have the they may not have the same perspective as you, but they have the same energy that they want to bring to a project or to an art practice. Most of my life I've held a 9-to-5, and in these spaces that I've experienced, I'm usually the one of few women of color. And you know, that concept has really changed for me over the years. In my younger years in my career, when I was more inexperienced, I used to come from a place of gratitude, like, wow, I'm at the seat at the table, I'm so thankful. And of course I am thankful to be in those positions, but I think what I also needed to have in my mind and in my confidence is like, they're also, they should also benefit, and they should also be grateful that I'm at the table because I'm sharing something of myself. And that just doesn't go for me, that goes for anybody that is a minority with a seat at the table, because you know, we're bringing in a new perspective that it's not the majority, and you know, putting those things together, like, we can really enact change. But that concept is complicated for me because, you know, I do want to see it at the table, but at the same time, I think where life and, you know, what has been happening with the AAPI community, you know, Black Lives Matter, is that, like, at this point, I think it's also important to make your own table. There's a time to be at the table to really hold people accountable, but there's a time when it's also okay to just make your own table, because those other tables where you only had a seat on, they will follow suit. And I think where I'm at in my career as an artist and as a professional, I am looking to be more of a leader than just a voice in the room.